The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
Eric's Family Barbecue has arrived and is simply the best barbecue in Arizona. Come satisfy your taste buds with meats that are smoked over mesquite wood and sides that are made with fresh ingredients and tons of love. They have the best, juiciest brisket, pulled pork, rib sausage, turkey, or everyone's favorite, the Pitmaster Sampler that includes all the meat and 4 sides, mac and cheese, potato salad, coleslaw, corn, or beans, yum. And for dessert, try some creamy banana pudding, amazing. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip, you won't be sorry. Dine in or take it to go. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more info.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You've been deceived by an agent of Satan himself. He's evil.
Sitting right here. Come on.
No, he's not. He's not evil. He's just a bit rude.
Another chance for you guys to win more money. $1,000 at 7 o'clock, 23 minutes from right now. We're going to be handing you a word. You text it, 97936, and then 40 minutes later we pick a winner. We do it again at 8. So get ready. Get that word out to you. And you can win money. It's beautiful. People are, it's funny because every time I talk about how cruddy social media is and how stupid the pictures are, everybody says, yeah, I agree. And yet, it just gets bigger and bigger. Again, Milk Crate Challenge. Add 5 more boxes. They've changed it. TikTok's not doing it, but I don't know if our company's going to be happy about this, but I'll say we'll house it right here on our KUPD Facebook and Instagram. So if you guys want to do it, we're happy to do it. There's no prize involved. There's just nothing but the incredible accolades you'll receive if you succeed. If not, your death will be on our website, and that's great for clicks. All in. Climb those milk crates. And by the way, what kind of world do you live in where you have access to that many milk crates? You're a poor college
I always
kid.
wondered that.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Go out and, either go to Target or somewhere that sells them.
Or you're a college kid whose half of his furniture is propped up by milk crates because every time you see one, you take it because it's furniture to you. I don't get it either, but good luck with that. And I hate that TikTok has banned it. It makes me sad. It's time now, Brady, for some may call it a spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you all about something I watched, and if you haven't seen it yet, you'll thank me in the end because it's all the buzz right now, and it's dreadful. The Bob Ross documentary. Did you watch that yet?
I did.
It is.
Oh, I want to watch that.
Don't do it.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you right now. I'll tell you exactly what this whole documentary is.
All right.
The betrayal, and because that's what it's called, Bob Ross, the betrayal and the blah, blah, blah. They try to make it seem like he was a rapist or a murderer or something. You learn nothing. Bob Ross was one of the greatest people in the world. The documentary says so. Ends up dying of cancer. Had a couple people in his life that he trusted with his business. Called the Kowalskis.
Banged one of them.
Which is even funnier. The Kowalski part is funny because Walt Kowalski, the guy's name from Gran Torino. So the entire time, that's all I'm thinking. This stupid little twink with his afro thinks that he's going to get all the money. Well, they end up getting the rights to his name somehow away from his son. Now, his son is nothing more than a guy who never achieved anything in his father's shadow and tried to be a painter, too.
And his dad wanted to pass it down.
Right. His dad wanted to pass it down. He turned it down. He basically fought his father. He said, "Look, I'm building this legacy for you. You can take over the Joy of Painting series. I'm giving you this." And he's like, "No." And then they didn't talk for a while. So he passed up the kingdom of Bob Ross. Then he started to come around when his dad started to die. Comes back to his life, and they're trying to make this all poignant. I'm like, this kid just blew it, and he's mad. The people that he was in business with end up stealing the rights to his name, which means that they can sell the Chia Pets and the T-shirts and the Bob Ross
Even
paints.
on his deathbed. I mean, there was a couple of things, and who knows?
Look,
there's one.
Bottom line is nobody was taking care of Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Nobody was in on this. I don't care crooked or not.
Right.
The son wasn't around to help out. Now the son's clearly desperate for money. He wants the name back, and so he does a documentary to make money for himself. Again, mad that other people are using his dad's name for profit. That's exactly what he's doing.
Bob Ross Inc.
That's exactly what he's doing with this documentary. He's trying to make money off his dad's legacy because he didn't get any of it.
It's coming out now. There's a couple of articles already coming about that saying, well, it's definitely a one-sided story.
One-sided. The kid blew it. It's not one-sided. He's wrong. The people who took his money were his business partners. They were fine.
Yeah.
They try to smear him, and if you have half a brain in your head, you're looking going, nothing to smear here.
Did you ever know about there's a competing couple?
The flower people?
Yeah.
They weren't competing at first.
Yeah.
They were the flower painters.
Correct.
And then
but
Kowalski
I don't remember ever
thing.
seeing the flower program.
I don't know that I watched a ton of PBS to know their lineup too much, but yeah. So
but they never
don't
really
watch it. No. Waste of time. You're watching. It would be like if your dad was famous, and you kicked at him the whole time, and then he dies, and the money was supposed to go to you, but the people he did business with were like, nah, we're going to take care of the business end, so he doesn't get any of the Bob Ross money. It's terrible. And plus,
I just wondered how the signing over. I mean, because he was more or less the creative guy, but the whole affair thing. Wonder if she had that as a leveraging. Like, look,
okay,
you owe me.
Maybe they worked it out.
That's what I wanted.
So whatever.
So there's no intrigue in this.
There is
at all?
no intrigue in this.
Wow.
None.
Well,
Brady. You're faking intrigue.
The way it's positioned, though.
3 out of 5
if you
stars.
Didn't know
the way it's positioned is to try to make you think there's intrigue. There is none.
They robbed his son.
There is no intrigue. If you watch it with your brain on, instead of like, I'm going to buy into everything I hear. If you watch it with your brain on, you're looking at a son who didn't get any of his dad's money, has no skill.
Just bitter.
He's just a poor man's Bob Ross now. He's the son of Bob Ross. You know who he is? Jared. You know who
Gallagher
Jared Payton
too?
is? Jared Payton is Walter Payton's son.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tried to play a little football, didn't make it, and then runs around with his
charity stuff.
charity stuff under his dad's name.
That's how forgettable he was. That's why I was like, who?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Never really wanted to box. His dad made him box. He should have taken the route this kid. I was more mad. I like the Kowalskis the most in the entire documentary.
No comment.
They're like, we're not talking about this. This all was legit. And courts have found it legit. And everything said this is the way it works. Well, yeah, but they took advantage of him on his deathbed. I guess you should have been closer to your dad.
Well, then he has the documentary.
Yeah.
It is the document that's signed that, over and everything else, Bob Ross, according to that thing.
Oh, it's terrible.
He did want to leave it to his son.
According to the one he found. Years later. Again.
And then they couldn't battle in court because they didn't have the money.
Brady.
So wait, he does all these videos. There's no video of Bob Ross saying, I want to leave this to my son?
There's paperwork that his son had in the bottom of a box somewhere.
He had 51%, and then his brother, Bob Ross's brother, had 49%.
It was the other way. The brother had all the money. The 51, he had 49, and that's when the brother sold the 51%, all the rights to the Kowalskis.
Okay.
And he had a minority interest, so he had no vote. So it's terrible. And I'm getting texts and people are like, oh, the Bob Ross documentary. I'm like, no, you want that to be something. It is beyond that. It's also, it's slower and a little bit more boring than actually watching Bob Ross paint.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Because they got that Bob Ross channel on the Samsung TV.
Phenomenal.
And I've watched that. And as a matter of fact, it's funny because I think last week or something, I watched one episode and he starts it up and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to turn it over to my son.
Steve.
And and the kid did the whole show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to see this.
That little rascal.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Mountains.
Yeah. He didn't want to do that. Nobody turned to Bob Ross to see it's the same as Caliendo dragging his daughter on stage. Nobody goes to, I'm going to bring that up on the podcast on Sunday. Nobody goes to a Bob Ross show to watch Steve. That's going to be my claim with Caliendo. I'm giving you a little teaser for the podcast. Nobody turned on The Joy of Painting to see Steve paint. Period. You turn it.
You'd say Steve who?
It's a disappointing episode.
And now Steve's doing all right. He's set up his own studio.
Sounds like he's still bitter.
For older people, you'll understand this. No, when you turned on Carson and David Brenner was the host, you're like, And I like David Brenner, but you didn't want to watch David Brenner. You wanted Johnny.
What about Joan?
Joan was occasionally good. She was actually pretty darn good, but you still wanted Johnny. Jay Leno was on there for a while, his permanent guest host status, and you're like, I'll take the Johnny episode. Nobody turns on The Joy of Painting for Steve Ross. Nobody turns on Roadhouse 2 to watch Don Swayze. You don't want Frank Stallone. Sorry, I know. I know.
Whoa.
But you don't want Rocky 7 with Frank Stallone as Larry Balboa.
Yeah, I don't want
You're
this
not
guy.
watching
I
this.
haven't watched the documentary. I don't want this
He looks
guy.
like a deadbeat, and he is one. He floundered his relationship with his dad until the deathbed, threw away his dad's dying decree.
Can he paint?
He's a good painter, but
that little
just like
rascal can paint mountains.
The one right in the middle,
Bob.
right in the middle is the one that I seen. The episode I seen. So the one right down from that one.
The middle one.
Yep,
yeah.
that one right there.
There it is.
It's the exact episode I watched.
I think they all look like that.
Yeah.
I think they all. I don't think Steve and his mullet ever was different. I did not turn The Joy of Painting on with Bob Ross.
He was so high during those years, Steve.
Sure he was. And now he's painting the same exact thing his dad did. He's a low-grade version of his father. And he's mad that people are using his dad's name for money. So he does a documentary called Bob Ross, Betrayal and blah, blah, blah. You're doing the exact same thing. It made me hate Steve.
I was curious, how much did he make on that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they're like, we didn't have $90,000 to go to court.
Now you do.
Maybe. I don't know. If you don't profit off of it, we're going to give it to the paint store. It's a garbage documentary. We fooled by documentaries so much. So bad.
Kowalski's don't even budge.
Of course they don't. There's nothing to budge about. Mrs. Kowalski got the hard end of Bob Ross's wang on a rig.
All right.
Yeah. Walt was cool with it. And in the end, he's like, hey, you were boning my wife for most of the time that we were business partners. I'm taking your money. Okay. And he signed it away. Even if that's not why.
Right.
Even if that's not why, the kid had nothing. If Torp gives you paperwork saying, hey, these are my dying wishes.
Yeah.
And the money's in here. You're like, all right, cool, thanks, Torp. And you put it in a box, and like 10 years, 15 years after he dies, you find it. You didn't even take the time to read it. You were a dick son, period.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to get that money. Oh, the Bob Ross documentary. Terrible. Made me love Bob Ross more. Because all he was a dude who wanted to paint.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And evidently.
And that hair.
Poon hound. He pushed the poon around. They didn't really get into it a lot, but oh yeah, chicks dug him. And I think for older ladies, and
well, they were throwing themselves.
And they were
at
throwing that old, those old gray rats were getting tossed, Bob.
Oh man, and his voice.
Oh, they loved it. He was great.
How many stars, Brady?
3 stars.
and I'll tell you what that means. 0. Don't waste your time with it. It's not at all. There's no intrigue at all. There's no interesting points. Nothing. No offense, Brady. You have to be brain dead to give that 3 out of 5.
It was like a long episode of Painting with Bob Ross.
It was a long episode of nothing's going to happen. The show. Nothing happens. And in the end, if you feel sorry for that guy, you're the most easily manipulated person in the world. Because he was a bad son. That's all it comes down to. Kid was a bad son. His dad tried to give him, he takes up painting. He gets pretty good at doing
Well, that was
the exact same
definitely
thing.
Dad's guilt, too, because Dad felt like I wasn't a good dad.
Why? I don't think he thought way.
Oh, he said that,
All he said was how
throughout
wonderful
like
he thought his son. I don't remember ever Bob Ross saying I was a bad dad.
Well, he was, the whole affair thing chewed him up and felt like,
I don't even
wanting
think that.
to get the son involved. Obviously, they didn't hit on the part there where he
First
became
off,
rebel kid or, the separation there.
But the affair part was a rumor. Nobody knew.
Right.
So there was no chewing up or the
I
kid
think
wasn't
Bob
affected.
was talking about that. At least I kind of picked up on that.
He never mentioned it. They didn't even bring it up in the thing. Bob never talked about that. He talked about his wife who died. That broke him up.
Yeah.
But he never brought up like, oh, this chewed up the family or anything. He didn't talk about it. Nobody was sure. Even Steve's like, I'm not even sure if it happened. The son's, oh, it's such a terrible documentary.
John, give all the awards to the person who made that trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob Ross doc sucks.
Thank you. See? Yeah, it's bad. Brett, don't do it.
All right.
And you know who I got sucked in by? You.
Me? What did I do?
The hot releases. You were like, oh, that's going to be great. And I'm like, you know what? He might be right.
I think everybody thought that, though.
I did. I was with you, but I'm blaming you.
John, I don't know if you did it like this after Vegas, but say what you want about that Bob Ross documentary. There's no better hangover cure than an hour or two of Bob and a couple of Bloody Marys. I felt great.
That is true, because it was the day after the return from Vegas, and somewhere in the middle of that day usually turns into this like weird, I don't think I'm going to live
Throttle
long.
down.
I think I'm going to make it to like 8. I better start estate planning.
Make sure your sister can't come
Figure
after
out
any of your
what all
money.
this stuff is valued at, because I'm not going to make it, and somebody needs to know. Who gets what?
Kowalski's?
It's terrible. Brady, you've got to raise your bar for entertainment if you like that, even at a 3-star clip. It was bad and disappointing because I wanted, like you say the word betrayal and intrigue and stuff. Like Bob Ross killed a man. That's what I expect. It had nothing to do with Bob Ross. He was fine.
I guess I was in it for the painting. All I was watching was the painting.
Well, you got plenty of
'Cause
that.
I didn't watch a ton of episodes growing up of Bob Ross.
The first 22 minutes of it is just him doing landscapes again. I'm like, we get it. Where's the betrayal and intrigue? Oh, it was brutal. And then that, even to go back to the affair part, the one guy who goes, hey, it was the 80s. Everybody was banging everybody. And his wife's like, all right. And he's like, it's true. He goes, it didn't bother anybody.
Oh,
We were
yeah,
all
and then
banging
she
each other.
shuts him up.
Well, she shuts him up because she's like, you did it. And all right, we all know. But the guy's like, everybody back then was banging everybody.
Key parties.
Yeah, he was basically
Punch
saying
bowls.
the affair.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, he was basically saying that's not intriguing in this story. It was the 80s. Of course he was having an affair with he lived with that family. They were a throuple.
Bob Ross lived with the Kowalskis?
He and his wife moved in with the Kowalskis.
Wow.
And they're like, well, we're pretty sure something was going on. Walt Kowalski was I don't think he could get hard. You looked at that guy, like, well, Bob's a good man. And I'm like, you look like you're 90 in your 40s. You're all done.
They're
Bob
hanging out
comes
with
in.
the Baskins.
Yeah. Swinging his alizarin
Now-
crimson around.
It's like that guy that turned gay for a second in that other documentary, that Netflix documentary.
Oh, yeah. What was that one called?
Mouth Hugs?
I don't think that was what it was called. I would watch Mouth Hugs. I get fooled by Mouth Hugs. I give 3 out of 5 to Mouth Hugs, and I don't even know what it's about. You can't have anything worse than a 3 out of 5. Brady treats all film like a blowjob. he won't say any of them are bad. Well, it's still something.
Like
Little
pizza.
teethy.
3 out of 5? Who's going to ever take your recommendation for anything if you gave that thing 3 out of 5? It's a 0 if it's a half a. If there was less than 0, it would be that.
Can't
I
even
learned a
hate
lot
watch
about
it.
Bob.
There was nothing about Bob to learn. He didn't do anything. This was all about his son and those Kowalskis.
His message to the world.
You knew that. He painted boring. That was the point of Bob. Of course, he had a life we didn't know about where he nailed some old lady on the side while his wife was fine with it, evidently, because she was in the house. They were living in the same house, and Bob was giving it to Mrs. Kowalski, which is the only interesting part of the whole thing, but I assumed it when they all moved in together. You don't move in with another couple unless you're going to start boning each other. It's called swinging. And like that guy said, it's the 80s. Everybody was hitting everybody.
So it's not even a hate watch?
No. It's so boring you can't hate watch it.
Man.
Just sitting there every once in a while going, when does Bob rape? Because that's what the trailer led me to believe, that in the middle of this, there's going to be a big Bob fingered me thing. Nope. It's his son dying for money because he's got nothing but his dad's talent. It's Gallagher 2. I don't have any of that money that I wasn't paying attention to or doing anything. And now I'm 55 and I'm looking at he was that kid that was telling everybody, my dad's Bob Ross. I don't have to do anything. I paint. Occasionally lets me do the show. I don't really want to do it. But when he dies, I get it all. Nope.
No, Dad.
Nope. You get nothing.
Him and the Nirvana baby should hang out. Two useless hacks.
That is exactly who this is. He's the Nirvana baby. He is exactly that. Here's another thing. Steve Ross. You don't deserve a penny. At all. Just because I had
think he deserves anything.
My
even
dad,
by
my dad was in
family?
construction. His entire career, and I had some tinker toys. I was kind of bad at it. I helped him around the house every once in a while. We wanted to build something. That doesn't mean I'm entitled to his entire life's work. Get a job, you deadbeat, so you can paint. Your dad taught you to paint. That's good. It's innate in you. You're not as good as your dad. Find something else to do. And to his credit, he's teaching painting classes in some community college, which is about the level he does. He does hotel paintings, just like his dad did. His dad got famous teaching you. He just paints a bunch of hotel paintings. It's amazing.
Just doesn't have that sexy voice his dad does.
Whatever was going on with Bob Ross was sexy to some people. I didn't see it. You evidently 3 out of 5'd it. I wanted to add a little betrayal and intrigue to it and kill the people in the documentary myself so that at least it would have been interesting. It would have been awesome if it was live and I'd have slaughtered Steve Ross in the middle like, there's your betrayal and intrigue. You're welcome, viewing public. We get so fooled by documentary. Ever since that Making a Murderer, every documentary is reality. It's true. If the word intrigue's in it, we search for why. There's none.
You immediately went to the one side, whatever the documentary was.
It's Geraldo's vault. There's absolutely nothing to this thing. So please, if you're privy to my phone number, don't tell me how great the Bob Ross documentary is. It's awful.
I've got your summary, John. That Bob Ross doc is more boring than a bath. It was basically watching a group of Jewish people at a restaurant get separate checks and bitching about who is paying what because Anna ate the appetizer.
But you had a tea, Saul. Charlie Powell says the best part of the Bob Ross story was when they finally said him banging that paintbrush around with paint thinner is what gave him cancer.
Yeah, the one artist.
Yeah, the one guy's like, he was around that paint thinner. If you ever watch Bob Ross, he would always take his paintbrush and clean it in the paint thinner and then hit the easel back and forth. And he always go, beat the devil out of that thing. And they're saying the one guy's like, I think all that paint thinner killed him because he ended up getting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. There's another documentary, Bob Ross, the Happy Painter, that goes into how he became a painter and goes further into where all the paintings are. It does it correctly on focusing on Bob, not some kid who's whining over the fact his daddy didn't pay him. That's a fact. That's all this is about.
I love the other fact that there's so many knockoffs over there. The Ross, the one guy is accusing him. I was back there and the guy's signing the names to these paintings that they're.
Scott Haynes says
You're buying Bob Ross paintings, first of all.
I know.
First off, those should be $1.
Yeah.
I can understand
like
the
guy,
Chia Pets
but-
and the other merchandise.
shirts, T-shirts, Chia Pets, maybe a cool wig. Scott Haynes says, Brady, let me get this straight. The documentary kind of for you is like French kissing your mom. No payoff.
Oh.
People are going to never forget you for that. Comparing things to French kissing your mom. Yeah. It disappointed me. Beyond belief. And everybody was texting me over the weekend watching that stupid thing. This is why I don't follow anything on Netflix. People tell me, oh, my God, I just spent the last 8 hours of my life watching this show. And that automatically is a red flag for me. Because anybody who spends 8 hours doing something is going to try to justify that time as decent. Nobody's ever going to go, I just wasted 8 full hours of my life. So they always tell you about stuff that's 8 hours, 9 hours of binging. And majority of the time it's okay at best. And it's just hard to throw that. So I just don't watch anything anymore. I too, but there's not a whole lot of good.
Thanks for not saying it, John, but I will. Spoiler alert, it's a perm, everyone.
It's a perm. Yeah, his hair didn't actually look that way. That's the big reveal. There's the intrigue.
He was a hair whore.
Yeah, he liked his hair going pompadour, and then he found the perm. It was a perm.
Oh, it wasn't just the Jew.
No, look at Steve.
And he's not a Jew.
And he would joke about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
He goofed around about it, but yeah, it was. Brady liked it, so if you're brain dead or from Awakenings, the movie, then you'll like it too. But Brady, I'm disappointed in you. How do you not see, as a loyal son to your father, how do you not see that as a kid who just blew it?
Oh, I
That's
know.
all it is.
But again, I didn't, come away pissed off from it. I guess I had the bar set low.
3 out of 5. So did I. And it
On the betrayal, I was like, come on, what's the, okay, well, he had an affair, and then the kid has a document that says,
that wasn't even the betrayal part. You're focusing on the doesn't even
Kowalski's
matter.
bilked him out of all his money.
No, the deadbeat son blew it and is using his dad's name to make money, which is what the whole documentary's bitching about. Oh, it's terrible. Don't waste your time, Brett.
All right. Damn it.
I would.
Now you know. Yeah, you don't need to watch it.
That's right. It's not a spoiler alert. I'm helping you. I'd sooner press my face up against my neighbor's window and jerk off to whatever's going on in there and watch that documentary a second time. Actually, it might be kind of interesting to see what the hell goes on in that house. Maybe, just maybe. And then also the other fun thing that's going around is that ESPN kind of got duped. I don't know what
story keeps getting more and
it's
more
weirder and
weird
weirder.
every day.
Was that an imaginary high school?
It's an online high school.
Yeah, okay.
How do you have an athletic program and a field at an online high school?
I don't know that they did because so
they played in Ohio.
Here's what you don't know is the ESPN televised a high school all-star game with that Florida Academy. Now the Florida Academy, IMG Academy is an absolute powerhouse high school all-star. For mostly troubled kids who are so athletic, they're like, let's just put them in this powerhouse
like
school.
that school that LeBron went to.
Yeah, there's no school.
Right.
There's no school. It's like you're gonna do this our way. Yep. We'll get you into Clemson, and you're gonna do the same thing.
They've got 10 of the top 40 recruits.
Yeah, 10 of the top top 20, and 22 of the top 43.
Yeah.
They're like half of the best college recruit coming out of high school.
Man.
It's all these
and
kids.
And they're going to all the top schools.
And you look at the laundry list of NFL players that have come out of this thing. So then the ESPN decides they're going to televise this game between them and a team in Ohio.
They were already
they do
ESPN
it every
was
they do it every
to
year.
IMG Academy. So they were going to air one of their games no matter what. Right. And they started looking for resumes from other schools, and it was
an online school, so they get duped into this.
Because the 5 other, I'll tell you a little bit. The 5 other schools, or the 4 from Ohio, St. Ignatius, and are all always nationally ranked. But I think there's a little bit they're saying we're not going to play outside of our division because if we injure our guys, the whole thing that you're playing for is null and void.
But
you can't win a state championship.
We'll injure the crap out of the other kids.
44.
Or you mean the Ohio guys?
Yeah, exactly. They're protecting their players. They don't want to play that game.
But they're saying now, the thing I saw last night, they're taking kids from those schools, giving them one class in this online thing, and putting them on this team.
Yeah.
So St. Ignatius and all those have their all-star team. So it was like this all-star team of a pretend
events
school.
The all-star team. Okay.
Because they couldn't get
school.
a roster. They had 23 kids against 100 from IMG.
And IMG was up 44-0 with
And they were like,
9
call
minutes
it.
left in the second quarter. No, they just didn't play that hard
They
at
didn't
the
play.
end.
They realized that they were going to kill some of these
59
kids.
to 0.
Yeah.
And ESPN televised this thing as the best 2 high school teams in the nation, and one of them isn't even a real team.
It sounded like Doom, but I don't think it was doing the call. But
I don't know.
They were doing trivia, and in the third quarter, they're like, "You want some presidential trivia?"
Yeah, it's weird. Because now ESPN is under scrutiny for, did you just send a sacrificial lamb onto the field with this team that you have a contract with?
The thing I heard this morning was the coach of that team in Ohio has an arrest warrant out for fraud and other things. So he's a real good guy.
Yeah.
He had all these blue chip athletes that are going to the school.
But no, he had none of them, Brady.
That's what I'm saying, but he said he did.
Oh, the whole thing is
They couldn't
crooked.
verify any of them.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder how much of ESPN's programming is set up to sell you
Yes. Well, they were selling IMG.
IMG.
Yeah.
Why would you have a contract with a high school team? Who gets that money? If ESPN, who's getting the money for that? The high school itself, or the kids are certainly not getting it, are they? So they go out there and risk it all.
Well,
in
the high school does get some money. I don't know.
Also,
what.
Some kind of some grant or something.
What kind of weirdo are you?
Watching
high school football.
National.
Yeah.
Tort Bogan.
I'm going to watch these underage boys get it on.
They always do it. They'll play the top high school from one state. ESPN has done it throughout
but
for a long time.
Unless you have a kid on the team.
Well, the Hamilton and Chandler play on ESPN a lot, but they're like top schools.
Right, but still. You're kind of a weirdo for watching it.
And that's what
agree.
ESPN would do, the top schools and everything. But this thing is a
If you're there,
hoax.
would you ever watch Gilbert play high school football again?
Well, I mean, DZ's on there, so maybe.
That's true.
But
I watched Derek Zillner's grocery shop, but
Yeah.
that's a different story.
No, hell no.
You
I
don't
could
want to
care
go back
less.
and watch that. It's creepy. It's other people's kids.
Yeah.
It's just odd. Yeah, the high school, I don't understand that. High school football's for scouts and everything else. What are you getting out of that? As a person who's not really affiliated.
That part of the story I don't get either. What does IMG get besides exposure, of course?
Sure, money.
But they're already committed, John. All
Yeah,
those players
that's
are
true.
already committed.
Yeah, they're all going somewhere great too.
Yeah.
They kept saying that about this. I was watching the clip of the thing of the controversy, but I don't know. Is it a controversy that they made up a school? Kind of. I mean, they've got a team, but it's not really a thing.
because there's plenty of
did
players.
ESPN make up the school, or did that school just make it up to try and get on TV?
And that's where everybody's
Right.
like, what is that? Whatever the Bishop Saginaw or whatever they call the thing, I forgot, but it's
Bishop
strange.
Sankey or something like that?
No, that was a player. Remember Bishop
Oh,
Sankey?
yeah, right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a guy. But it's really weird because it makes you go, wow, is ESPN? And then over the weekend, I was drunk in the hotel room and I turned on ESPN and there's a whole sport they televise called Smash Ball.
Is that the one with the net?
There's a thing there's a trampoline on the ground.
Yeah.
And a big tennis ball.
How many players?
4, 2 and 2. And they throw the ball into the hole and then they smash it.
What?
Yeah. And there's tons of people they've been playing since I was 8. And I'm like, it's the first day I've ever seen it.
How do you score?
Well,
'Cause we have one.
here's how
Lisa
it goes.
got one.
You
We
have a
never
smash
played it.
ball
Yeah, we never.
court?
I have no idea how to play it.
It's a trampoline. I serve. You hit it back. And then the second person sets me up, and I try to smash it in the middle. And then it's like volleyball bouncing. It's only on the
Volleyball
ground.
tennis
it's
on the
it's
ground?
volleyball for short people. You're playing upside down volleyball,
In a short space.
and they're clapping, and then they're high fiving. He has a scholarship to smash ball over at Alabama. I'm like, they have smash ball scholarships.
Remember
This
they
is
tried that one with the trampoline and basketball.
That was pretty
court.
neat. Yeah, the trampoline.
I thought that
that
would
one was
take
on-
off more than the smash.
too many
ball.
people died.
Yeah.
You can't play bouncy. That's just for white.
All
people.
it is mascots, Brady.
It was basketball for white people.
Yes.
No, they had
Trampolines
a
are-
whole tournament.
Brady.
Yeah, but it was basketball for white people, which is probably why you were excited. Ohio had a
Yeah,
chance.
got a chance.
But yeah, Smash Ball's a thing, and ESPN's televising that. Not to mention cornhole is now on ESPN as a
I saw
regular
that.
sport. I love
Those
watching it.
guys look like bass fishermen with their
They're
shirts.
sponsored up.
The
Yeah.
greatest thing about the cornhole tournaments on ESPN, a $25,000 grand prize purse. And once you say purse, you realize that you're splitting that.
Yeah.
You're splitting it about. There's Smash Ball in the pool. Brett found it, but that's what it is a pool game.
This is dumb.
Yep.
How do you win? Somebody
well,
misses?
Yeah, because nobody's missing there.
you know how you win this one? You look in the mirror and you realize you're not retarded. That's the big win. It's like, I don't play Smash Ball.
Wow.
That's
The one we have is on the ground. It's on terra firma.
right. You guys don't have the pool one.
Nope.
This is pretty
But
much Smash
ours
Ball.
is in an inner tube. It's actually just like a stand with a net.
That's it. So you just bounce it, and then when the other team misses, it's a point.
That's terrible.
There's scholarships now.
It's picnic. It's a picnic game. It's for Grandma. Grandma would say, "Let's play a little smash ball and everybody be nice."
Go back and play croquet, Grandma.
Right.
Shut
Get
up.
a little aggressive with Grandma, though, on that smash ball
Well,
game.
sure, but he's the athlete. He realizes this game's for ninnies.
It's like four
And then he's
square
going to dominate.
tramp it.
It's Foursquare, and then the one kid that comes in and ruins it is the football. Like Derek Zillner comes in and goes, "This isn't a sport, you guys. Go yourselves. This is a ninny sport. You're all acting like a bunch of ninnies." But I think the future of sport is for ninnies. I think with the anti-bullying campaign and everybody's good at everything, I think ninny sports are going to start taking off. That is a ninny sport.
I watched a primer over
Hopscotch
the
finals.
weekend on cricket. I still don't understand it.
Oh, cricket's hard to follow because it takes days to watch one game.
Right.
But anyway, what are the words, Tilly? I don't have them.
Oh.
Hurry up. It's almost 7 o'clock. It should be ninny today, but it's not. I worry, though, because Smashball being on TV is a super ninny sport. I'm a little bit mad at Brady for the whole Bob Ross thing. He liked it too
You're
much.
still...
Yeah, I don't like when he likes things that he shouldn't just because he's too nice. I would love to have Brady go, "That's," but he just doesn't. People put an effort in. He got the
I
intrigue.
didn't think it sucked.
So everybody gets a trophy?
What was good about it? How did it not put you to sleep? You go to sleep if you sit down too long. That thing it was Ambien.
Maybe I dozed off.
Yeah, well, there's where we're at. There's where we go. Brady didn't like the movie Sausage Party. I didn't think it was that funny. He slept about 8 minutes after it started until about 8 minutes to. I got most of it. And like you missed 74 minutes. And then you had the nerve to tell me, that wasn't that good. Now you're going to start critiquing a movie?
Waste of food.
Didn't make any sense. Yeah, and it made him mad, I think, because food was fighting back, and that's his worst nightmare. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. So how can you? I'm in tears. I'm dying. I'm like, how clever was that? The Jews and the non-perishables were phenomenal. It was just very clever, funny movie. A lot of good jokes. Not going to last forever. Not an Academy Award. Look over at Brady. I didn't think it was that funny. I hardly laughed at all because you were sleeping the entire film. I got most of it. Did you follow the dude who had his head cut off? What's that then? What are you talking about? Missed that part. I don't know. You should have slept with Bob Ross. How dare you sleep through Sausage Party and stay awake through the entire Bob Ross thing and then
I nodded off a little bit.
You know what? We owe the people more than what you're giving. 3 out of 5. That's gonna make these poor people who work really hard every single day go home and go, well, Brady thought it was pretty good. And they're gonna waste 3 hours of their lives setting it up, letting the dogs in and out, pausing it for a phone call.
A little nice
you
to
were
it.
Way too nice.
Being nice to it.
And now, Brady,
protecting Steve Ross, I guess I am.
Now that you're flip-flopping on it, it makes your review even worse.
Yeah,
you know when Siskel and Ebert disagreed, the other one never went, okay, fine, thumbs down.
Okay.
Either stand by
That's
it
why
or
we're
you
not
don't.
Siskel and Ebert.
That's
I
right.
relent.
I'm Siskel. You're ball of dough. Had an opinion. Ball of dough comes in and goes, whatever he says. I liked it, but if he tells me not to, I won't. Very disappointed in you. You go back and watch that again.
I will.
And then
and I'll stay awake the whole time.
Good on you. And my balls are going to smash my wife's ass tonight. Now that's smash ball at my house. Good. That's excellent texting right there. All right, it's 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Drought. Oh, you're going to struggle with this one. Why'd you do
I thought
this?
I was doing it easy.
I was going to say, who picked this word?
Drought. Oh, Toledo. Can you spell it, Brady?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to make sure. Brady.
DROUGHT.
Nailed it.
Bingo.
Now.
See?
Brady can do it. You can
Confident.
do it. Drought. 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 And that's the word right now. You can text 97936, the word drought, and maybe get $1,000 in about 40 minutes because KUPD Nation is the case. Let all the other stations do their national thing. We've dismissed ourselves from it. We give KUPD listeners $6,000 a day. We don't dabble with the others.
John,
awesome.
Tell me how you feel about this weird sport. It was on TV the other day. Try World Chase Tag. It's parkour tag on TV. Yes, really.
No. They're running out of stuff. The simulation's done.
Chase tag.
So what does that mean? That you run around?
You parkouring like Brady's favorite sport, jumping over buildings
playing
and everything,
tag?
and playing tag at the same time.
Just
what do you get?
hide
you
on
get a
top of
head
the milk
start?
crates and then let all the people try to get you. Like, that's what we should do. Milk crate
No, 'cause
king
you
of the
see
hill.
They should start that from Monty Python, the World Hide and Seek.
Oh, that's
now
coming.
that's a competition.
It's coming. Milk crate, king of the hill. You have to climb to the top of the milk crate and try to knock the other guy off. Everyone will die who plays it. We'll rid ourselves
That's
of...
what the one, they had the sticks, the jousting sticks, and they were doing it on top of the milk crates.
Oh, those
that
were
was pretty
on,
good.
on milk crates.
Yeah.
They fall and hurt themselves?
The one guy won, yeah.
But did someone hurt themselves? Because if you're standing on milk
They
crates...
showed they didn't show after the guy, they show him fall.
Right.
They didn't stick around.
Right. They had to stay for the funeral.
Yeah.
Damn it all. Yeah, if you fall off the milk crates and live, I'm disappointed. Because I want you off my planet. Tide Pod kids, milk crate kids. What was the one where they were eating all the cinnamon?
Cinnamon
Choking
challenge.
Cinnamon challenge, yeah.
Keep that up. Keep it up. Brady, did you hate the new Candyman?
Haven't seen it.
That's not in your wheelhouse,
That's
though, really.
surprising.
That's not something you can see.
Brady got excited because they just announced that The Rock is going to do Jungle Cruise 2.
Yeah, so excited.
And I didn't realize it until just now.
Is that serious?
Yes,
They did
it's
that?
serious.
I didn't realize it until just now, and I apologize because I went on a tirade in the office saying, it's because jackass idiots keep handing money over. Of course they're going to make a second one. Dumb people keep buying it. And I realized, oh, wait, he's seen it. You for that.
I did.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And this is your fault that the
Is it
entertainment
part of your
bar is so low.
subscription at home, or did you pay extra for it?
Oh, yeah, no, it's part of the...
But
No,
you paid
it's-
extra for it, right?
Oh, yeah, you had to, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a family movie night.
And why is there going to be another one?
Jackasses like me.
Because jackasses like you.
No, Kirby will be 16
I did it.
by the time that one
She's
comes
not going
out.
to want to see it. He
Exactly.
I'm going to see that rock and
Reminisce.
watch it. You got to see how this whole trilogy ends. Gotta
Maybe
get
the
that
sex
third
scenes
one
will be
in.
great in this Disney film.
I forget how's the sequel ride go at Disneyland, John?
Huh? Oh, that's true. If they have a second, well, I don't know. The Indiana Jones thing has a couple of moments in it. You're like, oh, this is from Temple of Doom. I take you through the ride to the other
Mola
movies.
Ram.
Like, Mola Ram's in this. Suddenly the ride sucks again. I like the beginning. We were getting chased by the Rock, and then we went to Mola Ram's thing. I'm like, I could do without this. Drought. That's today's thing. We're getting close to having a non-drought day. It's going to rain like crazy. It's only 83 degrees tomorrow. Figure out what the hell's going on this summer. Love it.
Is it going to rain all day tomorrow?
Supposed to start raining tonight. I don't know about that.
There's like 76% chance
we're
tomorrow
getting-
or something. It's
we're
like
getting-
ridiculous.
We're getting peppered, which is good. But drought is today's word. Hop on that thing. Maybe get yourself $1,000. I think the idea of us having to pick and choose our own entertainment has made us less likely to tell people something stinks, because you're not going to tell people you failed. Because technically, when you program your own station and it sucks, you're not going to go bragging about what you did. But if you program your own 8 or 9 hour day of watching television, you're more likely to say, well, I tried harder to like it than normal. It's hard.
John, they do have a King of the Hill type game. It's a Japanese game show called Bo Taoshi. I'll look that up.
Wait a minute. Did you spell it? I'm getting people saying, I think you spelled it wrong in the machine.
No. There's a
This
ton
person-
of people who are killing it.
This person just got in with DRAUGHT, draft.
No, they didn't get in with that word.
I'm looking at their text. Like, how did this happen?
I'm looking at it how it's spelled.
Is it you or Mark?
Mark set it up.
Now
no,
then.
he spelt it with an
All
O.
right, just making sure. Well, I guess you can use the A, too.
Nope.
Don't say that.
These two did. Give it a try. You got 40 minutes to spell 2 words. If you can't manage that kind of thumb power,
Yeah, exactly.
you're kind of doomed.
And if you do get in,
Hey,
shut
go
up
get
about
it,
it.
man.
You're in.
Absolutely. Go get it. Yeah, Bob Ross documentary made me grumpy. I'm angry today. It made me want to call my dad and say, you know what? Where's the paperwork? Because I'm no deadbeat son, and I want it all.
I didn't gripe at painting mountains.
Yeah, I'm not going back in to all the stuff that I feel like maybe you could have done better and making a documentary about it because I let on your riches. There's nothing worse than a son waiting for his dad to die so he can finally have success in life.
I just thought Steve's like Jesus. There's a lot of middle years missing. What happened? Where did you lose all these documents? Your priority? How long of a drug bender were you on?
Right. Where's Steve's documentary? Because Steve was
disappeared.
waiting for Bob to die. He didn't ever go out and get his own life. He didn't ever go out and do a job on his own. And now he's bitter. Pathetic. I want a documentary about that old German painter, the mighty brush. The one that used to, remember him? He's in it, but he was better than Bob Ross. Do you remember the German?
No.
Oh, the little German guy used to go, this mighty brush will take care of all of the problems and make it. And he would start screaming at the painting and stuff, and he was awesome. William
Was
something.
that the other guy they were showing?
Yeah, in
every
the beginning,
once in a while.
he was insane. Look at the mighty mountain. It is ready for you. And he'd start painting this thing. It's like the mighty brush tells the tale. And he'd start screaming.
Always room for a bunker.
Oh, he was the best. Hilarious. Anyway, my review is people are telling me what they'd rather do than watch the Bob Ross documentary again. We have to start being honest with each other about stuff and go back and block all the people that told me to watch that this week, and we can't be friends.
This the guy?
That's the guy. William Alexander.
See if we can find a video.
Oh, he was the best. And he would
Wait a minute.
shout.
He was Bob Ross before Bob Ross?
Yeah, William Alexander was he was crazy. And he'd go nuts in his paintings. Like he would start yelling.
Is he in the doc?
Yeah, a little bit. He's kind of the inspiration for Bob Ross's show.
Oh, gotcha.
But he would talk about his mighty brush. He would start getting like this.
I got to smell the flowers. I have to hear the birds and the breeze. Load up now. Load up with everything you see in that painting. Then it's easy to put it on the canvas. All right, I have buttered myself up, and I will fire in. When I use that word fire in, I love that word fire in because I like to fire in like this. I want to be fresh. I want to be powerful. I want to be the commander, the chief, the butter washer, and then it works for me. It works for everyone if you do it just like that. You know, I do I
love that guy. My mom used to try to paint with him.
This is more entertaining.
Oh, yeah. It's much better. I hope he also took money from Steve Ross.
I hope there's a twisted betrayer of greed with George Trapon. So what's new?
That's right.
The sewing
or
guy.
sewing with Nancy. Tell me about Bell's palsy and how she got her rape stories and financial woes. Sewing with Nancy's the best. Lady with Bell's palsy making those ugly ass clothes for big ladies.
Jim Wilson growing poppy fields.
Ooh, doggy. All PBS stars were crooked. What's this one?
This is Baotoshi. It's pole climbing. Pole championships.
I'm not watching any of that. I've seen that.
One person stays on the pole and you got to knock him off, apparently.
Well, the Japanese people.
And there's a lot of videos about deaths on this.
Yep, good. Because you do dumb stuff and you die from it. I'm fine with that. The word again.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
It's a great sport. And then you just beat the crap out of the guy who falls off the pole.
Man, get him.
Drought is the word today, 97936. That's what we're looking to get. If drought is going to be your special word for $1,000, then gosh darn it all. You got 30 more minutes to do it. Brad, what's on the big board of musical treats, my friend?
Sorry, I'm intrigued.
No, I know. There's Japanese people in a pile.
I know,
That's
it's
always
crazy.
fun.
All right, the wake-up song brought to you by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop. Get that bike serviced. Get your accessories all dialed in because the season is going to be changing very shortly, and you guys are going to be heading out to the trails. But and you can also pick up the 5-alarm coffee blend there. We got you covered. So make sure you visit actionrideshop.com as well as at Action Ride Shop on Facebook and all the other socials. But a lot of stuff in here. Primus, Probot, Every Time I Die, Hatebreed, Volbeat, Anthrax, GNR, and Soul Hat Bone Crusher for all them idiots on the milk crates. Somebody requested that one a little bit earlier today.
Banned from the TikTok. I'm in on that.
Right.
Is Probot different than Crowbot?
Yes.
Okay.
Soul Hat's such a great, the Bone Crusher's such a great song. I like that one a ton. Chris Kelly just texted and goes, F Bob Ross. I sat through 2 hours of that thing. I was waiting for some story where he finished on some teenage girl and told her it was a happy little mistake. Next time, make a tummy puddle in a beautiful little cloud right here. Yeah, nothing about it was intriguing. It's terrible. It's brutal. Brady. I'm trying to defend that pile of crap.
Poor Steve.
John, what WNBA game or Bob Ross documentary?
WNBA game.
Whoa.
That fast.
Over the documentary?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because at least they're trying and at least they have a profession. As much as I disagree with it, I don't want to watch some sad sack who has no career in his life bitch about somebody else's success and say, please give that to me. Because that's essentially what that was. There's nothing sadder.
That's
at least the
one.
No, it isn't. Because the
I'll go
WNBA.
Bob Ross on that.
Oh, it's shorter.
It's shorter.
The WNBA is at least people trying on their own. Nothing worse to me than a loser waiting for his dad to die to get paid and then bitching that he didn't pay attention enough to the paperwork. It's pathetic. It's the worst of humanity. It's exactly what our society's kind of going down that road of how come nobody gives me everything? I'm working, but I should get more. I want $15 an hour. Why? You got a job that pays $9. I know, but I want 50. We all do. We all want more than we're making. It should be mandatory. It's this whole handout society, and I think they're going to resonate with that guy. Did you see that school teacher that's in trouble, too, for saying that she doesn't have a flag in her classroom?
And she took the...
she took it down because it made her uncomfortable, and then one of the kids said, why do we stand for the pledge? There's no flag. And she goes, well, you could pay homage to this one, and she points to the rainbow flag. And then
flag.
And then she did a video of her laughing about, like, I told them to just turn and put your hand over your heart.
Do the pledge.
And do the pledge to that flag, because I don't like the American flag. It makes me uncomfortable.
But the twink flag's okay.
Yeah, the twink flag's fine, and the parents went bananas.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Where was this at?
California. Where else?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if this was Texas or something, they're going to be lynching her.
Texas, that lady. If she did that in
story
Texas,
wouldn't come out.
Betrayal and intrigue. It would have been a documentary I'd watch.
Been better than Bob Ross.
I can't believe they allow her to have a rainbow flag in the classroom.
That's California.
I know, but still, like, that's crazy.
There's a mom. I told you about this one this morning. Mom has a 12-year-old son, and he came out as 12 in Canada, and he lost all his friends because he came out being gay. So the mom, his birthday was here, and no one was coming to his party. So the mom put it up on Facebook, and a bunch of strangers came to the park for his birthday. And it was just, the fact that, okay, he didn't, lost all his friends because he's gay, but these weird strangers coming up to your son's party, I'd be more worried about that than
had like this.
It got a little out of hand.
But the weirder part
and it was the greatest day of his life.
The mom puts on social media, my gay son has no friends. We're at a park trying to have a party and no one will show up.
Yeah.
But she knew that going in.
Right.
So she drug his ass to, and then a gay pride parade comes by, and we're talking like dudes dressed as like sexy women for this 12-year-old boy's party.
Oh, yeah.
Dancing, shaking their asses and stuff. And I'm like, well, all the support in the world for the gay kid and stuff, but this isn't good for any 12-year-old at all. Like, it's the sexiest gay pride thing just starts rolling in. This one dude hits his knees, his wig's off, and he's just gyrating like crazy. And I'm like, where's the dad?
A couple of older guys there with they're showing the park and the crowd. There's a couple of older guys with their phones just filming the kid.
Man.
I don't care gay or straight. If my kid can't make friends, I'm not letting local hobos and weirdos come by for his party. It's making friends all right. I'm not doing it.
Like, you seeing this? This guy's filming.
Where's the dad? We're not having an our kid has no friends party. We got to get him. And what kids are mad still to the point of not being friends with somebody who's gay today? Like, all kids are woke when it comes to that. There isn't a backlash of
It's
kids.
different in Canada.
Oh, maybe Canada's a little behind. But I know for a fact, like, it's cool to be.
Right.
Because my friends' kids talk about, like, the gay kid in their class, and they all love him, and it's like, they don't care. The parents care. So there's no classroom going, we won't go to your party because you're gay. Your kid's probably not that interesting and antisocial or whatever. That has nothing to do with his gay.
Yeah.
But she tried to make it about gay, and, like, the craziest tranny parties showed up at this kid's 12th birthday party. And I don't care if you're gay or straight. That's freaky. That's freaky for adult gays.
And gay or not, what if your kid is just not good with other kids?
Right. Maybe he's a dick.
Yeah.
You have to sometimes weigh the fact your kid might be a dick. It's not necessarily always bullying. That lady that put her in Tucson would put the 3 pizzas. And
she had at least 6 out there.
And the sad boy sitting by himself saying no one showed up to his party. First off, that's abuse of a child.
Yeah.
And then, but there were like 9 or 10 slices of pizza missing. There was a load of pizza missing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Brady went. So somebody was there.
That's the first thing I noticed. Wait a tick.
There's half a
pizza there.
If no one's there, it's because the kid's selfish and eats all the pizza. But you have to, at some point or another, just recognize my kid has no friends because he's a dick. It's not always the other kid's fault but that's a dad. A dad would come in and say, "This is you. You have any friends? You got to do something about that." A mom says,
"Well, what happened?"
Yeah, everybody else doesn't like my little angel, but deep down, your kid might be a dick.
I don't think the dad would allow it to be posted on Facebook.
Of course,
and
we're not putting that up there. It makes our kid look like a loser.
Right.
We got to talk to him about being a little bit better. Maybe our kid's a dick. Nobody ever admits that, and a lot of your kids are. But if your kid's a jerk, if your kid has no friends at his party, it's because he's a jerk.
Not everyone likes unicorns. I mean, you know,
that
you'll
was very
find those people
homophobic, Brady.
because he had a unicorn shirt on, and and maybe his friends are like, you know, it might be a tall order right now at this particular time.
Right. Keep digging. I'm going to listen to you fix this. Go ahead.
Learn to play. Just because someone doesn't like what you like,
Right.
get along. You're going to find people that don't like what you like, but you still can get along.
Well said.
Yeah.
Except for all the words. Except for all the words.
Drop the unicorns.
You're saying stop being so outwardly gay. You are the problem. Maybe that mom was right. Now you're the dick. Now we can't be friends with Brady. Nobody
Not
go to
everyone
Brady's
likes to sew. Come on.
Right. But he wasn't having a sewing unicorn party. He's just a kid trying to have it. Oh, was it? Oh, I didn't know that part. And even if you don't like unicorns, you still be able to make a couple of friends.
Absolutely.
The girls in the classroom should have come. Right?
Yeah.
Because they loved him. And he's wearing a Trapper Keeper from 1992. He had the unicorn shirt. His hair was pink.
Yep.
He's a girl's dream. So you have to sometimes recognize your kid might be a dick. Plus, I think your mom was looking for attention, try to get a gay party going and be the most socially active lady in her neighborhood. Thanks a lot again, social media, for making that a thing. I know for a fact if I was a kid and nobody came to my birthday party, I'd tell my mom, if you put that on social media, I'm going to be everybody's going to tease me forever.
That's right on the bubble. On the age, as far as like, don't do that.
That is over the bubble. That's,
anytime your mom posts and nobody showed up at my thing, my mom could do it today.
Well, there's a lot of times where a kid at a certain age, like you're 5 or 6, you had no idea your mom did that.
You're going to find out, though, eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's once it's out there, it's out there. It doesn't go away, no matter what.
But you'll hear it at that age more from your friends than you would in 5 or 6. They could care less.
It's probably worse,
only
though.
The moms
10
talking
times.
to parents.
Because they're the most judgy ones.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's right on the...
My son's gay. No one likes him.
Because now going back to school is going to be a tough one.
He's not going. He's homeschooling. Mom won't let him out of her sight. She wanted a daughter, too. There's no doubt. Nobody puts even a gay kid's like, I'm not going to wear the unicorn thing. That's too, even gay people think it's too gay. At age 12, that's too much. I'm not going to wear the sports stuff either, but just neutral colors for a little while. Maybe a splash of color now and again, but I'm not going full unicorn and having a transvestite party for my 12th birthday because I want to. My mom might have had something to do with that. And how did the gays, assemble so quickly? She's alone in the park, and then all of a sudden there's 400 well-made-up gays dancing and singing and stuff. Like, they had the full super makeup on, like the Cher review
Music.
came to town.
Woody put it out on Alt AZ. That's how they got all those people
that
over
could
there.
no. Because nobody would have heard that. It's weird. But there is a certain aspect of sitting there going, our kid might be a dick. No, it's because he's gay. No, honey, I think he might be a dick. He might be a gay dick. But it doesn't really matter. He's got no friends. You'll make friends. Even the gay kids in junior high, we had some gay kids, and we knew it.
Yeah.
And they were friends with all the hot girls.
Yeah.
It was amazing how the chicks gravitated to those guys. And that was back when it was probably like, I'm not going to that gay guy's party. People said that more. Now nobody cares. So I'm guessing your kid's probably a prick. Or as I like to call him, a little Steve Ross.
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station.
He said, fully erect.
98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.